Dale Reed. I'm Product Development Director at Control F1. The way we're working at Control F1 is the same way that we work with the marketing agencies is what do you actually want to do, what do you want to achieve? Then we can look at what data you actually need to achieve those goals, and even more importantly what the noise is, so what we can get rid of. So all of the platforms and the functions and everything else that we've created are really about that, getting to the intelligence, and less about let's just collect all of this data that we're going to keep on the system forever for no real purpose. Tech startups by definition are quite innovative. You know, they're looking for a niche in the marketplace, they're hungry, whereas you know your big companies, again the same thing happens in tech. You know, you look at IBM when they were king of the world, and then you just get comfortable in that position and it becomes very sort of bloated in terms of an organisation. So I think having that connection between the startups who don't have the funding but have the really good ideas, and the companies that have a lot of the funding but not necessarily the infrastructure to encourage innovation and getting them to work together, just seems like an obvious fit really. So I think a lot of people are talking about the safety aspect. So you know, the whole focus on autonomy is it's going to be a safer environment with vehicles that can drive themselves, that can coordinate and plan things out. I think the other thing that people are starting to talk about is, you know, all of the people who can't or don't drive at the minute, so offering mobility as a service. So people like yourself who live in London, there's no real advantage to owning a car, but there are occasions where you need one. There's people with disabilities, so partially sighted, fully blind, people with other disabilities. You know, all of these people will be able to have a lot more independence because they've got immediate access potentially to that mobility that can take them wherever they need to go, and then once the car's taken you, it can go off and do the next job. So I think really there's a shift in the focus a bit to look at that as well as just the autonomous safety features. So we joined as a partner member, so we get free access to all of the networking events, and it's really opened up the opportunities for us to not only see the big tech companies that are in this field like Tesla, but we're also meeting other players, tech startups and so on, so we're understanding what their focus is, what they're working on, how we can partner up and work together. So it's really just about building those relationships. There's no point in duplicating work. You know, if somebody else is doing something that we're interested in, we'll join up with them and help them get it to where it needs to be.